Here is some real tactical advice on how to get your listings on the first page of Airbnb, VRBO, bookings.com, etc. I got my revenue manager here, Cody. He's going to dive in. He's going to show us what he does to get listings ranked as high as possible. So let's dive in.
All right. So the first thing I do when it comes to listing optimization, we have about 50 different listings that we manage. Some of them are essentially combined listings. So I'll dive into that here in a second, but if you need to get a scorecard, this is our scorecard that we have for Phoebe. So the first thing you're going to see here is you're going to see the review count and the scorecard. This is going to provide more of an explanation as to the rankings right here. Now over here, this is pulled every Monday from the software that we use that I really think is just easy and friendly is RankBreeze. And what I'm trying to identify is what's working and what's not working. So, in the industry, you'll see a lot of things as far as, you need to update your title 2 or 3 times a week, or rotate your description, interchange keywords. I don't like to put specific dates or timeframes on it, because I think that you need to make a change, make an adjustment, pull a lever as you see fit. And the way that you're going to identify as you see fit is by actually looking at your rankings. Now, if you have a property that's on page 1 and you're performing, you're making great revenue, you're outperforming the market, you're just getting all the visibility in the world, don't touch it. Hands off, leave it until it breaks. So the first thing is I'm going into RankBreeze, and I always filter this worst to best. So we got 3 pages of properties right here. And I'm taking note of where all these pages or all these listings are visible on what page. This is the average page ranking on Airbnb. And I'm writing this down. I'm taking all this, it's manual entry, but I'm putting it all into here so I can have this kind of broader portfolio look. From here, I need to identify, is there an action required? So I'm looking at really any property that I feel needs a helping hand, a touch, a lever to be pulled so that it can be optimized better. All right, so now I have them marked. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of reference my checklist over here. So as you can see, everything over here is really a checklist. It's yes or no. It doesn't require any updating. It's either you have it or you don't have it. And I can dive into the details of all these, but I kind of want to do a brief overview of everything. Over here, I have a listing optimization checklist. These are all essentially the different levers that you can pull as far as changing your title, your listing summary, which is your first 500 characters, your listing space, which is the body of your description, your cover photo, amenity photos. I define them as amenity photos, but it's you have your cover, your hero photo, and then you have your next 4 photos that you just want to jam pack with all the features of your property, so that if you get someone that's kind of a looky-loo, the second that they click from cover photo to your listing, you need to be able to just throw as much information at them as possible to get them to go down to the space description, to get them to actually click and look through all of your individual photos. So in each step of the funnel, the stage that you're at is fighting to get the guest to the next stage.
Can we see, out of all the people that click on the listing, how many photographs they look at on average?
We can't. We can see how many people actually click on the listing because, a listing is on Airbnb. We're not able to do, kind of the SEO crawling softwares like Hotjar or anything like that, where you can actually track dwelling time, where you're missing, where you're hitting. So what we're able to see directly from RankBreeze, we get first page impressions, listing views. Listing views are the times that the amount of times people click on your listing. Click-through rate is going to be just your overall impressions versus how often people actually click and create a listing view. A lot of these metrics, as far as revenue ADR and occupancy. We don't use RankBreeze to track that, but anything that's more on the SEO, listing optimization side of things, like first page impressions, views, click-through rate, booking rate, and conversion rate, RankBreeze is probably the leading platform that we prefer as far as SEO and listing optimization.
So what specific things have you done to transition to a better look, a better listing look?
The easiest way I can say it without even providing an example is going to a bullet point format. Trying to use bullet points and spacing to really clean up and create different segments.
Like in the description?
Yeah, and as far as taking that concept, that mindset, and doing it across photo captions, from listing summary to listing title to ultimately the listing space.
So shorten to simplify, make it easier and quicker to digest.
Correct, yeah. So that they can easily, whatever is the guest's number one concern, whether it's the pool, the backyard space for their family, the entertainment, anything like that, or maybe it actually is just the bed count, the bed dynamic. So they can appease their larger group or their multiple families. They need to really see that bed layout. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to get to their number one concern.
Could you talk about some things that you've done and tried and what's worked with regards to improving all the individual parts of the funnel that RankBreeze tracks?
Yeah. So, the overall goal, and I can kind of take a step back, the overall goal is maximum revenue. We can all agree on that. We want the property to make as much money as possible. Two ways that you're going to get there is by having better occupancy and charging more on a nightly rate. The only way to have better occupancy is going to be through your pricing strategy and your visibility. Now, if you want to achieve, which is our first goal, of maximum revenue, you need to have as much visibility that you can possibly have for your listing and that market. You're trying to achieve that maximum potential on visibility, because the maximum visibility is going to allow you to miss, essentially. So what I mean by miss is that you can charge a higher nightly rate because you know that you're not just going to have 3 potential guests that are going to look at your property and you need to capture one of them. We're trying to have 30,000 potential guests that are going to look at our property, and we just need to capture one of them on any given night, for any given night, as far as inventory. So in this case, first page impressions is the amount of times that this listing has shown up on the first page of Airbnb, and this is all based off of guest count. So we had 6,600 first page impressions in February. Now, the best way for me to look at that is, one, I can look at, what did RankBreeze define as a similar listing? But what I really want to do is I want to look against other properties that we have that are in that market.